A day off. Most working people live for it. For mail carrier Steven Spina, a day off was supposed to mean a lazy morning bumming around the apartment, grabbing lunch with his girlfriend Tamara, and an evening date with his one true love, daughter Skylar.
Steven was a very devoted father. He lived for Skylar ever since she was born.
Everyone says there was no relationship like ours. You could just tell how much he loved and wanted to be with me at all times.
Especially on this day, his day off. But instead, it would turn out to be Steven Spina's last day alive.
Well, I was supposed to go to a Yankee game with him that night. Like, the last thing he said to me was, "See you tomorrow, honey cakes." And he gave me a hug and said, "I'll see you tomorrow." And that never happened.
Mamaroneck, New York, otherwise known as The Village. A modern-day slice of classic Americana, a place where people still take time to chat with their friendly neighborhood postman.
Steven was a mail carrier for 12 years, and everyone on his route loved him.
He wouldn't just bring the mail and, sometimes he'll stop there and talk to him for 5 minutes. Very friendly guy.
And when he wasn't delivering the people their mail, he was umpiring their kids at the local ball field.
He's just honestly not just a dad, but the best person. He's always upbeat, he impacted a lot of people's lives.
And yet, someone in this quaint little town wanted him dead. It was a Monday for Steven Spina, what might be more like someone else's Saturday.
He was a postman, and they have a different schedule than a lot of people. They don't work a strictly Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So 1 week he's off on a Monday, the following week he's off on a Tuesday.
As far as Steven's girlfriend Tamara Acevedo knew, there was nothing to indicate the day would be anything but normal.
She spent the night. They got up in the morning. She left to go to work, and they had planned on getting together for lunch.
That was just before 9 a.m. Shortly after that, at around 9:30, a neighbor witnessed Steven walking out to his car. And that was the last anyone saw of Mamaroneck's beloved mail carrier until Tamara showed up for lunch.
She started texting him throughout the day. "Hey, I'm gonna come by in a little bit, gonna come by in a little bit." He was never answering her back. She comes to the house. She was a little concerned. She gets up to the apartment. She could hear the TV, but Steven's not answering.
And when Tamara gets the superintendent to unlock the door, she walks into a horror show.
You could tell that it was a little violent. You have a little blood on the wall, the blood on the floor. He was stabbed. And I can't get into how many times, one time, 30 times. I can't kind of get into the numbers of it, but I think I can confirm that.
For such a violent crime scene, there was no evidence of forced entry and nothing was missing. A sign that the popular mail carrier may have known his killer. Not surprising when you consider where he lived.
They call it the Friendly Village. Everyone kind of knows everyone. We interviewed the girlfriend downstairs, and so obviously she's telling the story downstairs. She's hysterical, obviously very upset at the time. She was the last one who saw her. He was with her in the morning. So obviously we start talking to her, and she was very cooperative. She just seemed like normal girlfriend at that point.
With the clock ticking, police search the area for clues and begin to hunt for suspects. But for Steven's family, time suddenly stands still.
I remember that whole day perfectly. From the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed that night, I know exactly detail for detail what I did. It was a Monday. It was around, I want to say 4 o'clock. I was at the school and my mom called me and she came pick me up and she wouldn't tell me what was wrong until we got here. And so we're upstairs sitting on the couch and she said, "Oh, someone tried to hurt Daddy." And I was like trying to get my coat on, we're going to the hospital, where is he, what's going on? And then she just told me that he passed away, someone hurt him and he's gone. And so I screamed.
It was the moment 12-year-old Skylar's childhood officially ended. And the day the Friendly Village lost a bit of its innocence. There is a killer on the loose.
It shook everybody and everyone's the whole time you can just feel the distrust with everybody.
We received a lot of tips by phone, email. "Hey, look at this person. Hey, make sure you go look at that person."
But one of the cops' biggest tips came from the victim himself, not long before his murder.
About 2 months prior, Steven had his 4 tires slashed on his car. Steven had come to me and my partner to tell us about that, and kind of gave us a name of someone locally that he felt did it.
Apparently, Stephen had been arguing with a local public works employee around the same time as the tire slashing.
That's someone that was pretty mad at him to go slash 4 tires. And we think we know who the person was, but we don't know for sure. But obviously, that person was obviously of interest to us.
Equally suspicious, not long before the tire slashing, someone smashed Tamara's car windows. Surprisingly, police don't believe the 2 acts are connected, and the suspect in that incident has since disappeared. But authorities think it could have been an ex-lover. The evidence points to a person who probably knew Stephen.
It wasn't a regular day off, so someone had to know he was home, had to know what he was doing. Like, just doesn't seem a random act to me.
From my understanding, he was a little bit off and on again with his girlfriend, Tamara. So I guess when he was off, did he date women? Yeah. I looked at a few people very deeply and as thorough as we possibly can.
But still, police have been unable to conclusively implicate or rule out anyone, including Stephen's girlfriend, Tamara.
For the first 3 or 4 months, she was extremely cooperative. And then, for whatever reason, she did get a lawyer. Doesn't mean you're necessarily guilty just because you get a lawyer and refuse to talk to us. But it's frustrating from a police perspective, absolutely.
Though Tamara hasn't responded to calls from Crime Watch Daily, she has categorically denied any involvement and has not been charged in this case. Now, the pressure and the money to find Stephen's killer is mounting.
Right now, there's the reward out, and it's up to about $40,000. We're gonna get you at some point, and it's gonna be very satisfying when that day comes. Someone out there obviously knows something. If it's not the reward, that's gonna kind of bring you forward. Think about the daughter a little bit.
You took a little girl's father. Like, I don't understand how anyone could ever be okay with taking someone's life like that. You took a father, a son, a friend, a brother, an uncle. How are you okay with that? How do you live with yourself?
Well, now it is time for a call to action. This mystery has dragged on far too long, and now police need our help to try to give this family some form of closure. If you know anything at all about the murder of Stephen Spina, you can submit a tip on our website. It can be anonymous. Go to crimewatchdaily.com.